The guard today. Now, if you're standing up, if I were to say to you, cover up, use your guard, someone's going to hit you. You don't have to be taught it, you would just cover up and use your hands as your guard when you're standing up. If you're on the ground, it doesn't really serve much purpose because there's a distance between you. You can't reach as far as someone just over there. Alright, mate?
Okay.
So for us in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whenever we refer to the term the guard, it's concerned with the use of our legs. And it's always the legs in front of us. Alright? We'll borrow Devon, just on your knees, it's fine. Okay, so the guard is any time we're using our feet, our shins, our knees, okay, like this, like this, like this. Anything to prevent our opponent from getting past, and usually our point of reference is the hips. As soon as he runs past our hips, then I can no longer use my legs. And then he's said to have passed my guard, and he can start initiating an attack. Right? Now, say that. We actually used the guard already from lesson 1, lesson 2. And I didn't necessarily refer to it as the guard. And I just want to remind you of the drills that we did. First one was the friendly strangler, and we just pushed away, and we got the knee in, and already I'm using a guard. We call this a knee shield. There are more sophisticated ways of using it, but effectively, this prevents him from coming close to me. Alright? The other guard we already used as well, which is this. So if you're stood up and you're trying to tap me on the head and trying to run around, I'm using my legs, they're in front of my body. Even though I'm not putting them in the way, they're here, they're forming a guard. So just want to make that clear. And then last week we did a technique where we ended up in a guard. We're going to use that guard to kick ourselves actually on the Ross. What was I? So I will talk to you. Remember the technique from last week?
Oh yeah.
So you trap one arm.
Yeah.
You trap one arm, trap the foot. Trap this one foot down. Lift your hips up. Throw me over that way. Good. Now, I'm using this position here. And my legs are closed. In front of, around my opponent. And we call this simply closed guard. So just to classify guards are either closed or they're open. That's basically it. So there are of course lots of different guards that we use. So we're all going to, our opening drill is, slide this up and see. Our opening drill is something like that. We're just going to do a simple drill. Using this closed leg position, first of all, see if you can interlock your feet. If you find you can't, the main reason is you have short legs, like you're a child. No, seriously, sometimes when I teach the kids, they can't do that because they're little. But we're all adults, and within the variability of our heights, most of you should be able to interlock your feet. And that usually means he's too far away, there's a gap. So if you just raise yourself up, there's too much of a gap here. You don't want that. You want more. This is where remember the morning the drill we did? I need to raise my hips and then we interlock. And there's less of a gap here. And then it's up to him to be comfortable, so if you just sit on your bum. But I'm uncomfortable as well. We're going to just practice getting into this position first of all. So we're going to start off here, and if just whatever your opponent's doing, if they just sat on there, they're relaxing there. If you find you can't interlock your feet, you need to grab hold of them and push yourself up further towards them. So your hips go closer to their body, and then you interlock your feet. Okay? That's part one. Part two of the drill we're going to do is we're going to do the most obvious reason why we use the guard is as a shield to ward him off. So basically, as Ross comes towards me, I'm elevating so that I'm keeping him away. Another thing you can do is you can open the guard, use your knees. So if you come towards me, pressure, I use my hips to push him away. Now notice my hips are elevated off the ground. Come on if you can't see, guys, over there. So I'm forming this triangle. There's no point using your guard if your back is flat on the ground and he wants to strangle me. So if you actually just put your hands on. See, I need to put something in place. This is where my guard comes in. I can do that. So this is part two of the drill we're going to do. So part one is simply locking. Part 2, he's going to strangle me. I need to release it, put my knees in front and push him away, but I still want control of him. I want to keep him there. Notice again, my spine is as straight as I can. I'm elevating the hips, and I'm just creating this prop to stop him from falling. Part 3, you think you can remember 3 things, guys? Now, part 3, we're going back to closed again. This time he's strangling me. I don't want any of that. I want to keep him close to me. I just want to hug him. And your opponent's going to try and get out of this. And you're going to carry on hugging him. Okay, so the benefit of this position is obvious. People who learn self-defense versions of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu suggest that this is good for preventing punches. I don't know, can you punch me from here? Little rabbit punches. Right, but certainly better than from here where you can, I wear glasses and I don't want to damage, but you can knock the glasses off because you can reach it from here. And the worst I can do is block enough. But this, wrapping around prevents that. So we're going to play around with those 3 things. Do you want to see those? Or?
No, I think it's right.
First one is, what's the first one with 3?
Wrap the legs around.
Wrap the legs around. How?
By locking your legs.
Yeah, lift the hips up. What's the next thing we have to do?
Lift your hips up.
Yeah, but they're pressuring down on you, trying to strangle you. So you're going to use your knees as a defense. What's the third thing we do? In our 3-part drill.
I'm going to hug him.
Hug him because to prevent strangles and punches in the use of his arms. So you can all remember 3 things, right? Find a partner and let's go. Or Jack. Jack, take guard. Good, okay. Jack's strangling me. Don't like it, I push him away. He gets up on his feet and leans into me, so you can jump up on your feet and carry on trying to strangle me. So really lean, stand into me. Put your weight in. That's it, good. So this is good. This is good for me. I can still really put your entire body weight on that. Good. Now be careful when you do this. I don't want you headbutting each other. We're going to combine part 2 of this where I overwrap, remove his arms, hug and drop. And then we're here, hugging close. It's handy to have the orientation, actually the best orientation is underneath an arm and you're clamping together like this and you're hugging tight. So he has no chance to posture up or very, very hard. So try and posture up, try and get out. Good, okay, so just to repeat again. So I'm suddenly closed guard. He's putting strangling me. I don't like it. Initially I open up, use my knees, push back, elevate my hips. And he says there's an opportunity, look, his hands have reached away from me, so he wants to stand up on his legs, feet, yeah? And then carry on strangling me, go through the middle, grab his head, watch your face, look away, drop, and hug, whatever happens, whichever orientation. And then ask your partner to try and just posture up, trying to escape from here, so try and get out from here. And we're using the most basic version of the guard to protect yourself. We teach the kids this, and the applications are obvious. Happy to try that, guys? Just 2 times each. All right. Right. So, with this, this whole if you can go into my graph. Yeah. With this whole idea of using my legs, suddenly those just 2 techniques alone, you realise that rather than just defending yourself in sheer terror, waiting for him to do nasty things to you, you are actually more in control than you realised. So through the use of my legs, I can control his ability to posture. All right, and this one, just even basics alone, just clamping him down like that with your legs and your arms, you're using the guard for defence. All right. And when or as a barrier to defend against him, and as he gets up to try and punch me, whatever, I can create the trap for him to fall into. All right, so you're already using the guard in a proactive way. And also, if you get up on your feet again, and you lean into me, another aspect of the guard that you have to look out for is your opponent's posture and balance and centre of gravity. 3 things. But basically, he's in a terrible position because if I moved out of the way, he would just collapse to the ground. All right, we're going to do a technique that takes advantage of this. Now, when he's sat upright, it's very hard for me to reach him. It's very hard for him to reach me, but he's still in a position where nothing much is happening. I want to be in a better position than I am now, and the best position really is on top of his belly. The next technique takes advantage of that strategic thinking. What we're going to do is, from this position, we're going to open our legs, we get on our elbow, and from the elbow we get up onto our hands, and we reach over your shoulder. But the most important thing is you've got to elevate your hips. Here. Once you elevate your hips, if you can, remember, cup your hand around his arm. It's not essential. We're carrying on. You want to punch your hips through his body. Here. Rotate around. Now we're in a much better position. I'll explain that again. So we're in closed guard. Our partner's just handily sat upright. This technique works when he knows I want to try and do something, but he's warding me off. All right. I want to punch my hips through his body because he's quite unstable. Believe it or not, he's quite unstable. So I'm not taking my body away and then push him there. He's very unstable. Obviously, he can use his hands. That's why we have to eliminate that. I'll talk about that in a minute. So this is how we take advantage of that direction. Open the legs. First, choose which side. I choose this side. I get up on my elbow. And already I can reach on his shoulder. Now I get up on my hand, and I reach further over his shoulder. The final part comes through punching my hips through. Although I'm stopping here, I'm just stopping here to show you, but actually this is continuous. As I punch my hips through, I'm turning around. Because this area here, he can't put his hand out. If I don't grab his arm, he just puts his hand out. I'm going to grab the arm here. Now he can't put his hand out. And there's no strength required. It's just rotation, filling a space. Aspects that we talked about last week. One more time, everyone? Yeah? Okay. Change directions. Good. Our opponent is sat upright. Okay. I want to use my hips to punch through him, to make him fall on the ground so I am in a better position. There's a reason why we do this. Because from here, yeah, I can do stuff, but I'd rather much be on top of him, where I can do much more forceful attacking submissions. Get from my elbow. Touch your shoulder just for distance so you can gauge distance. As you reach forward, you want to get up on your hand. Open the legs. As you punch your hips through, cup your arm around his arm and rotate. It's all rotate. Don't just push backwards, because he can push backwards or then put you in that position. You rotate. And sat here in this position before. Alright? So same pairs. And borrow our wing, that's alright. Just to clean up the technique a little, a couple of you are doing this bit fine, you're doing this bit fine, you're doing this bit fine, and then even though you realise that the hips are what drive the action, you're still very far away. It's almost like your head is down here. And because your partner's kind of compliant, he's letting you, but the further your head is away from the body, what you're actually doing is push him that way. And if I push him that way, he can generate, without your hand, he can generate some backwards force into it. It's very hard. Whereas this direction, it's very hard for him to resist. I mean, he's just trying to resist that direction. You probably can, but I mean, yeah, you see the point here. So, with the use of the guard, you do have to build up some sort of understanding of angles. It's not that hard, to be honest. You'll soon very, very soon get an idea of where you can push someone and where you can't push someone. Let's look at something a bit different. This time his posture is slightly towards me. Okay. All right. Now this time, when his posture is down, his shoulders down, his head is down, there's much more body mass in the way. And this technique is much harder to do because he's resisting, he's going to push back into me. So then we take advantage of another concept from the guard. It's that, well, where the head is pointing, the body is going to follow. We say this very often. So your partner is going to sit in this position where they're very low down. You're not going to resist too much just so you can help. I think if you guys come around that side, everyone come that side, I'm going to sweep them that side so you can see. I'm going to take one of his hands And do you remember that defence from the strangle where sat? And just push it there. That means he can't face out on that side. Now this time we're going to open our legs out and turn to our side. We're in this position. Okay? This leg is going to chop, and this leg here is going to push. So we're in that scissoring motion, or imagine I'm running. Okay? Now just to help, I'm just going to push his head that direction. Now actually, you think that he's going to fall there, but actually he's going to fall there. You want to pull him over there. Where the head is pointing, the body is following. This is the concept for today. So you pull him towards you, so it's almost like his weight is on your leg. And that's your opportunity to switch your legs. And then, guess what, we end up in this position. There's quite a lot in that, so we'll go over this again. Close guard, this time he knows that you want to do this, so he just puts his weight down a bit. Fine, that's okay with me. We've got another technique that takes advantage of his lowered centre of gravity and his head pointing over there. Just cut one arm, open the legs, and now you want to face the side that you've trapped the arm. Bring your knee in and bring your leg. So we're in this position. Try and picture this in your mind. Maybe we'll practice this particular setup a bit more than we would normally. And we want to basically bring him over there. I'm going to use this hand here to just guide his head over there. Remember, we're not going sideways, we're going where the head follows, where the head is pointing, or the tip of his head. So you bring him towards you. It's almost like you're bringing him into a trap. Just when you feel the point where he's going to fall on you, scissor your legs, follow him, and we're in this position again. Anybody want to see that again?
Yeah, one more time, please.
I'll tell you what, I'll do one more time, and then I'll call out each individual bit so you can all do it. Right, number one, do this, number two. And then the next time you do it, you run the dots, okay? One more time. So number one, his posture is already kind of there. Alright. Number one, we grab the arm so that he can't face out. Okay. Number two, I open the legs. Number three, I'm going to push my bum backwards so I can get it into this kind of nice running position. Number three, cupping around his head. And four, bringing towards you. And number five, scissor the leg on the end there. Usually when I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I forget, and then I go, and number 4.5. I think there's about 4 or 5 steps in there. Okay, in reality, when you do this, it's just done as one move. I have to break it down. Okay, partner up, and I'll. Now, the problem with pretty much any technical sport is that when you start off, all you remember are steps, sequences. You've got the left hand here, move the head here, move the hips here. What I wanted to show you, and the guard is particularly complicated. So a lot of people learn it as, oh, your left hand must be here, you must be gripping here, the weight must be here, your hips must be here, and this and that. And it can be too much information to learn in one go. But what I hope I showed with these examples is more of a wider concept. This particular technique where I'm using this leg thing, you can see there's opposing forces in action. I can manipulate his body, but I can't if his centre of gravity is too low. I need to create a situation where his centre of gravity is close to mine, i.e. I'm more underneath his centre of gravity, for me to affect the outcome of my quite legitimate levers here. And the same is true with the other technique we used. Again, if you sat rock solid, and I didn't use my hips, and I just tried to push him in that direction, not a lot happens. I need to get my hips over his hips, which is the point of this technique. My hips go over his hips. So when we talk about centre of gravity, you just elevate yourself onto your knees. A lot of techniques where my ability to manipulate my opponent relies on my hips in possession in relation to them. If I can get my hips as close to either underneath or over, or in many cases through, my opponents, then I have a better chance to manipulate them. All right, we're going to do another technique. I think we've been very good, so we're going to give you, we're saving this, there's no way we can give you, I think. So you're on these. Now this technique is very, very common in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We've actually done bits of it already. Remember that thing where that person was chasing us, trying to run around us, and we're just going ahead and using our legs. I described this before. We call this butterfly guard. A butterfly guard is infinitely adaptable and very, very useful. We're going to do one very, very simple thing. And it's very similar to the previous exercise. So it's not too out of loop. But it relies on the same principles. Now what I want to do is I want to move him from here to here. Alright? And I want to use my feet to basically, you just lift your hips up, to basically pick him up and use this foot to do that to him. Alright? Now, clearly, he's not going to willingly let me do that. I need assistance and I need to use the concepts that I talked about just now. What we're going to do is we're going to sit here, he's going to just sit there on his knees here. And we're going to collect one arm. We're just collecting one arm. Alright? So it's the same as before. Remember we blocked one arm. This time we're not blocking the head. We have to go underneath his shoulder. Okay, so everyone happy with that? So we sat like this, like in a lotus position. And then we just move into our opponent like that. So we're trying to get as far under their centre of gravity as we can without obviously, because he's sat rock solid. We're going to take one arm, cup it, and we're going to keep holding this. You don't let this go. This one is going to go underneath and just cut around the back. Again, you don't let go. Now, just as with the scissor sweep that we did before, in order for me to effect a technique on him, I need to bring him over me because where the head points, the body will follow, right? So as I bring him towards me, you'll find that he has an ability, he doesn't have the ability to put his hand up like that. If I did not drag this arm, he would just put his arms up, and then this would just be me hugging him, right? By trapping this arm, I have the ability to affect what he does. So he has no ability to face out. So if I drag him over me, I just kick up with my leg, and then we end up in this position, or whatever position you end up. This is not even a bad position either. Right? So once again, this is actually simpler than the previous one. I should have showed this. Maybe I'll mix it up next time. Okay, so we're in this position here. We're shuffling ourselves as close as we can until we cannot go any further. We're going to take our opponent's arm, grab it here, and we're going to go underneath the armpit. We call this over-under. Over the arm, under the arm. Right? Now, for me to do anything I need to, where does the head go? Where the head points, the body will follow. Cut, until you find that you're on the brink of unbalance and he's on the brink of unbalance, then you incorporate. He's at his very lightest. He's at his very lightest when he's on the brink of falling over. You kick up and follow. Get into the discipline of following into a dominant position. I'm going to make myself a sort of sense there of what we're trying to do here, rather than just showing you 1, 2, 3, do this. You need to get underneath the centre of gravity, where the head points, the body will follow, and although I have good levers, I need to make sure he's at his lightest, so on the brink. Do you want me to call out the technique, or you can do it on your own? You can do it on your own? Pair up anyway, let's see how you go. Sorry, Wayne, can I borrow you? So just to sum up, the guard can be purely defensive. If he wants to apply weight and pressure onto me and attack me, I can just defend away from him. It can also be a trap, where I can start attacking him back. It can also be, and most effectively used, as a position in which you can gain a superior position. And that whole section is referred to as sweeps, so we have a lot of sweeps. So one of my favourites is this is a sort of a white belt technique. I still use it against high grade guys, and they use it on me. So it's still very, very much legit. The third section that the guard is used for is to attack directly from within the guard. And we're not going to cover this today, we're going to save that for the final session, because basically I don't trust you snapping joints until completed in 5 sessions. All right? But even from here, there are things you can do where we are breaking arms, and we are choking necks and attacking our opponent from within the guard. Okay. But as I say, I'll save that for the next session. Not the next session, the session after. The next session, we're going to cover an equally important aspect, is how to hold down and pin a person, especially when you've gone to the great effort of sweeping them or manipulating their body so that you're in a superior and dominant position. But there's no point doing that if they can just escape us like that. So we're going to cover pins, hold downs. We're also going to have to do a few break falls. Does anyone not know what break falls are? You do know. Okay. Well, we're going to do some break falls anyway because there will be times where you're standing and we're going to detect where they're going to fall down. Alright, what must come up? Okay guys, well that's basically what I wanted to cover today. Any questions? No, anything that you didn't understand I did not make myself clear? Everyone okay? So good. So there was all about to go. Alright, everyone line up. Good. Thank you.